Hi everyone, this is Daniel from Ultimate Brick Collecting, and today we're looking forward to presenting our review of the new Technic 42096 Porsche 911 RSR set. This model is fairly large, with 1,580 parts, and sits as the largest Technic model released during the first half of this year. Even if its appearance wasn't enough, its name leaves no doubt that this model is based off the real-life Porsche 911 RSR supercar, which was designed to dominate the track with a 6-cylinder boxer engine producing approximately 510 horsepower and weighing only approximately 1,243 kilograms. Although this Technic model isn't nearly as powerful and as fast as a real-life car, it's still fun to own, and most importantly, you don't need to be rich to afford owning one. Once built, the model measures an impressive 50 centimeters long, 20 centimeters wide, 13 centimeters high, and weighs in at 1.35 kilograms, which will undoubtedly look excellent in any collection. The building process was straightforward and similar to essentially all other Technic models, and took approximately 5 hours to build at a very relaxed pace. While this could have been done faster, we believe this would defeat the purpose of building Lego models, which after all is to have fun and enjoy the experience. You begin by building the suspension, steering, frame and engine before moving on to filling out the body of the car and other details such as the spoiler, front splitter and rear diffuser. The difficulty was quite low and easily manageable for someone who has experience building Technic models. If you've never built a Technic model before, you may find it a little challenging. However, if you avoid rushing and carefully follow their instructions, then you should be capable of completing these builds without any significant problems. Similar to most Technic models released after 2000, their instructions contain quite small and simple steps to follow. Here at Ultimate Brick Collecting, we use quite a simple system for scoring the sets we review. They are scored across 4 different criteria, including functionality, appearance, quality, and value, with the scores being given on a scale of 1 to 5. The final score for a set is simply the average of the 4 individual scores, with a final score of under 3 indicating it's not worth owning, while 3 to 4 indicates it's worth owning, and a score above 4 indicating it's a must-own set. We'll begin by assessing the primary purpose of a Technic model. This is of course its functionality. Naturally, for a model to score well, it should have as many functions as possible that match the real-life vehicle, and to score perfectly, these should be motorized or pneumatically controlled. Across this criteria, the model performs quite well. However, the lack of a gearbox is one significant omission. To be fair, including a gearbox would have increased the cost of the set. However, this doesn't alter the fact that its absence is a glaring shortfall. Aside from this, the steering functions well, although there is no hand of God steering, and it can be a little bit difficult to operate the steering wheel if you have large hands such as myself. The suspension works well, with all 4 wheels being independent. As with essentially all other Technic supercar models, this helps increase the realism of the model. It was also nice to see the engine visually match the boxer engine used in the real-life car, and not just have a standard V6 engine thrown in the model. While there were no motorized functions included, which is to be expected of a supercar model, these would probably be quite easy to install should someone wish to modify their model. Given these factors, we believe a score of 3.5 is appropriate, with the absence of the gearbox being the main factor dragging down the score. When assessing the appearance of a model, it's considered relative to its theme, which means we don't necessarily expect a Technic model to be as aesthetically pleasing as an architectural model. Obviously, not every single angle, edge and detail can be perfectly replicated by Lego, as it is ultimately a toy. However, when comparing the model to the real-life Porsche 911 RSR, it is clear the designer did an excellent job replicating its appearance and visual styling. Given the limitations of Lego parts, there is realistically little to criticize, and thus we believe a perfect score of 5 is appropriate. The quality criteria is broad-ranging and covers the quality of everything from the parts to the instruction manual and even the packaging. Overall, the quality was very high, which is normal for an official Lego set, with the instructions not containing any mistakes and was easy to follow. There are only 2 small areas that the model could have improved upon. The first is numbering the bags as done on many other large sets. Since this wasn't a massive 3,000 plus part model, it wasn't particularly detrimental. However, its inclusion would have been appreciated. The second area for improvement would have been to provide a brief write-up about the real-life Porsche 911 RSR at the beginning of the instruction manual. It seems a little strange to produce a large model of a real-life supercar and not provide the builder with an overview of the real vehicle, especially since including an extra couple of pages would have had a very small cost. We believe a score of 4 is appropriate, as despite the model itself being of a very high quality, there is still room for easy improvement in these other two areas. The value of a model is particularly tricky to assess as it's very subjective to personal taste. For example, someone who loves supercars will likely see greater value in this set than someone who is passionate for heavy machinery. To remain unbiased, we primarily compared the recommended retail price to similar sets in recent years. Based on this method, we believe the score of 3 is appropriate since the recommended retail price of $150 seems broadly in line with other recent Technic sets. To conclude, when compiling these scores together, it produces an average score of 3.875, which is still quite a respectable score and ultimately indicates the set is definitely worth owning. Do you like this set and agree it's worth owning? Let us know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing.